Now I want to start the part of the course that talks about Google Citations and brand mentions, which
This video is brought to you by EpiPies Academy.
are sort of, think of it as pre-links that you can get on day one. What I mean by pre-links is these links, the backlinks, they are actually hard to get. So what you can do easily is get what's called brand mentions and citations on day one. And I'll be showing you exactly how to get them in this video and the next few videos. But here, I just want to explain what they are. So they are not as effective as backlinks, but they are helpful and they are way easier, and that's why you can focus on it first, because they are going to kind of put you on Google's radar. And the brand mention is just if somebody mentions, for example, my name is unique, Alex Gnadinik, or my website is Problemio, like what is that? It's unique. And even if there's no link, that's a brand mention, and Google finds that, and Google is like, what is that? I've never seen that, Alex Gnadinik or Problemio. And if they keep seeing that, if they keep crawling the web, and if they keep seeing that, that gives a little tiny bit each time extra attention because somebody is talking about you. That's a sign of quality and authority. And the question you might have is like, well, what if your brand is common like XYZ? Well, there's many common brands out there like Joe Smith or some name like that. Well, how does Google determine? Well, it's by the text surrounding that mention. If they mention you in reference to your industry or something else, often they can attribute it. Now, one very quick thing. Traditionally, citations have been associated with local businesses, but it doesn't have to be that way. Any business can have a local component, and even if you don't have a local component, you'll see in a second that you can still use these. And if you think of yourself as an online business, let's say you're a marketing firm or a design firm or you're a freelancer, well, these all have also local components, right? You can service people locally. And once you start thinking of your business as a local business as well, you have opportunities like google.com/business. You can put yourself on a Google map. The same thing with Bing Places, the same thing with yelp.com. You see that biz.yelp.com, you can create a listing. And all of these will have a little tiny backlink, which is called a citation. And immediately that will give a tiny boost to your new site. But when you have a new site, the tiny boosts, they help. And additional places are smallbusiness.yahoo.com/local and social links. So for example, a link from a Facebook page, a link from a Twitter account, stuff like that. Those are opportunities to get you these citations. One question I do get is if you sign up for something like google.com/business and put your business on the Google map, do you need to give your address out and make your address public? And the answer is actually you do have to give your address to Google, but you can make it publicly private. So there's a setting that you don't have to show your address publicly. And now I'll walk you through examples of brand mention citations so you can see what they look like. This is an example of my blog, and it's just a blog post and it's just a text. But what I want to show you is, see how in this sentence I have the hyperlink Altium. That's a backlink. That's a legitimate backlink where I'm linking to somebody else. But you see how I just mentioned this Circuit Studio? That's a brand mention. This is unique for that Circuit Studio site. There's nobody else Circuit Studio. That's really unique for them. So Google knows it's not as good as a hyperlink to have this mention, but it's better than nothing. It helps a tiny bit. So that's a brand mention. Now, and citation is maybe a directory listing, a link like from Twitter profile. I'll show you in a second. This is my Twitter profile, and you see I have a link here. This will be considered a citation. It's not a real link in a sense that it's not the kind of great links that Google looks for, because I can easily manipulate this and manage this. This does not give me authority, but at the same time, yeah, it's a somewhat of a mention, right? It's a citation. Now I'm going to show you a place where you can get a lot of these citations on day one. Here's an article I found for you online. It's a ultimate list of 200 plus citations. It's not by me, but it's a great resource. And it's got a list here of a ton of different places where you can add your listing. And in each listing, just like I showed you on Twitter, you can add your link. So right away, you'll have a lot of citations. And this is something you can do right now. So this particular URL is omnicore-agency.com/local-SEO-citation-sources-USA, or if you just search for this title on Google search, it will also find this article for you, and you just literally go through. You don't have to do all these, or you can hire a freelancer to add you to all these, and then you're great to go. You'll have your citations and you can move on forward in the course.